Let the rain wash my house clean of this curse. Out! Go back to the bush where you belong.
In the community of Umuofia, a man's worth was not weighed by the yams in his barns, nor by the fertility of his land. It was measured in sons. The soil was dark and generous, giving forth cassava as thick as a man's arm, and yams that swelled beneath the earth like sleeping giants. But none of that mattered to a man whose wife bore only daughters. In this community lived a man named Okafo Umuofia. He was a hard-working farmer. His compound was neat. His barns were full. Okafo had a beautiful young wife named Adanna. Her work graceful, her skin polished, but her womb, the gossip said, had forgotten how to make a man. She had given Okafo 4 daughters. Every evening, Okafor's friend would mock and jeer at him. They would say, "Okafo, our dear friend, how many children did you count today? 4 daughters?" They would mock. Some laughed, some pitied him. Some said, "Who will tend your barns when you are old?" And when he returned home, he would transfer his anger to his wife Adanna. He would call her names. He would say, "Woman, you have made me a fool." This continued for a while. Then Adanna swelled with child again.
Okonkwo, the labor is over. It is a girl.
A girl? Again? Am I a man who builds a kingdom only to hand the keys to sons-in-law?
His was torn. This was the last. He could not take it again. "I will not look upon your face again. You are a curse upon my compound."
Let the rain wash my house clean of this curse. Out! Go back to the bush where you belong.
Had pleaded. Okafo refused, and that same night she left with her 5 daughters. They went to her mother's abandoned hut at the edge of the forest, where the path grew thin and the village voices faded to whispers. 3 market days later, Okafo married again. Her name was Mbeke, a young woman from a distant clan with wide hips as a blessing. The wedding was grand. Palm wine flowed like the Oguta River. Cowries chained hands. It was indeed a happy celebration. And people said, "Finally, Okafo will have his sons." And indeed, within a year, Mbeke born a son. Okafo named him Mwabeze. A son is born. He walked through the village. His shoulders up high. He was very happy as he lifted the son up. Not long after, Mbeke conceived again. She bore another son. Okafo named him Chukwuebuka. After many moons had passed, the Okafo's grand compound, his 2 sons, now grew like weeds in a neglected farm. Tall but twisted. They were always fighting. They refused to farm. They only liked to lazy around and do nothing. But Adanna and her daughters did not just survive the cursed land, they blossomed. Adanna taught them the secret of cultivating powerful rare herbs and a technique for harvesting palm oil that makes it last much longer than others. Her first daughter, Zinachi, soon discovered a method of refining palm oil using a specific combination of river stones and sun drying that makes the oil pure, golden, and resistant to spoilage for years. Also, one of her daughters, drawing from what her mother, Adanna, has taught them, became the healing sanctuary of Umuofia. People, great men, came to her for healing. Adanna's daughters grew to be powerful women that were feared and respected in Umuofia community. Okafor's sons grew to be a curse to him. They were always stealing, and soonest they were caught.
Judgment is harsh, but hear me. They've defiled our land, they must pay. Have mercy, they're young, they do not know the weight of their actions.
Again. He had measured his life by sons, but the gods measured by a different scale. One that weighs kindness and patience, the quiet strength of a woman who builds a home from nothing. Okafo regretted, and he died a bitter man whose life was lived full of regrets.